So, you're really coming to our wedding, huh? I'll be embarrassed to introduce you as my sister-in-law to our relatives. My brother's fiancée, Lily, remarked. I'm Katie, a 37-year-old single woman who dropped out of school. I'm not ashamed of my dropout status or my singleton life at this age. In fact, I'm proud to say it's all for living happily with my precious family. My family has always been poor and fatherless since I was born. For reasons unknown, my mother bore me and my younger brother, Georgie, 2 years my junior while still unmarried. She worked relentlessly, but with 2 children to feed, we were always barely making ends meet. Sometimes a relative would come over to our home and try to give money to my mother, but she would always decline, saying, Please, let us rely on you only when we're truly desperate. We're okay for now. When I asked my mother why she refused to accept the money, she explained, If I just take his money, his wife might feel upset. But honestly, I wished she had taken the money. Georgie was a brilliant kid. He even topped his grade in elementary school. As an overly proud older sister, I was excited for him, thinking he was destined to become a successful person in the future. In fact, his school teacher recommended him for admission to a prestigious school, but we didn't have the money for that. He ended up going to a not-so-great school, and I felt terrible for him. So I chose to drop out of school and started working without hesitation. Well, the truth is, I hated studying, so I seized the opportunity to start working. Of course, most of the jobs available for a dropout didn't pay well, and I ended up working in a small office. But when the owner of the office decided to retire and close the business, he recommended me to a reputable company he had dealings with, and I was able to get a decent paying job there. I worked hard and even received a manager title at the age of 35, earning a salary comparable to a college graduate of the same age. However, my brother's fiancée, Lily, doesn't seem to approve of me being a dropout, especially because my brother Georgie, now a graduate of a prestigious university, is thriving as a salesman at a top-tier company called ABC Trading. Perhaps it's my single eyelid, or my not-so-friendly eyes. But from the first time she met me, Lily seemed to think of me as some kind of failed dropout who couldn't make it to college. I was shocked when Georgie told me that Lily had asked him, Hey, is your sister, kind of a problem person? Lily, the daughter of a director at the ABC Trading, where Georgie works, is quite a beauty, but it's hard to say she's a good person. She came to our house once and was so taken aback by our rundown apartment that she refused to come in. She complained, Even though I dressed up so nicely, I'm getting dirty. She also felt embarrassed that her boyfriend, with whom she was in a relationship, was commuting from such a place. Borrowing the power of her father, who was the head of the department, she forcefully moved Georgie into a family housing, where he should not have been able to move in. She seemed to have insisted on a ridiculous excuse that we're going to live there once we're married. There was a catch to this. Outsiders were prohibited from entering the company housing, and even close relatives had to apply each time they visited. Oh, I guess I can't visit often. I wanted to peek at your happy newlywed wife, I joked, to which Lily's mother coldly replied, That's precisely why we decided to have them live in a family house. Moreover, she was rude to Mother. On the day she came to our house, Lily whispered in a voice that Georgie couldn't hear, Because your mother-in-law was poor, Georgie will have to keep paying back his student loans, even after marriage. It's natural for parents to pay for tuition, right? And glared at Mother. The truth was that Mother and I had been saving for Georgie's college fund, but he insisted on paying it himself. In this way, Lily and Lily's mother have quite difficult personalities, but Georgie is completely aware of this, due to their feline pretensions, which are typical of celebrities. Actually, I want my mom to move into the company house too, but Lily says the husband's siblings are not eligible to move in, so my sister-in-law will be alone. That's pitiful. When I told her that I graduated from college with a scholarship, Lily's mom said, You want to relieve your mom as soon as possible, right? You're such a thoughtful and wonderful person. He happily talked about how kind Lily and her family were. Well, if the couple gets along well, there's no need for us to badmouth them, so we remained silent. But that was a mistake. Lily and her family started to exclude me and Mother, especially me. Sister-in-law, do you plan to attend our wedding? With the wedding with Georgie just half a month away, Lily suddenly contacted me. Of course, he's my only brother. But the venue is quite luxurious, and we're expecting about 150 guests. It seems that they invited even the president and the managing director of ABC Corporation, and the higher-ups of their clients, given the marriage between the daughter of the head of the department and the promising Georgie. When I thought they might not have enough seats, she said, I think all the guests will feel uncomfortable if there's one poor-looking sister-in-law. What? Poor looking? I plan to wear a proper formal outfit for the wedding. Your proper is probably a suit from a catalog that costs about 10,000 yen, right? It's embarrassing to be surrounded by people wearing high-end brand clothes. Lily had judged me to be a bottom-tier person. To be frank, I don't want you to come to our wedding. Fed up with her implication that poor people should not come, I asked Lily a question. What about my mother, then? Mother doesn't have any high-brand clothes either. I know that, but I can't not invite Georgie, who is a promising member of the company, and I don't want to be embarrassed by the shabby appearance of me or my relatives, so we'll prepare Mother's clothes. I was incredibly upset by the way Lily spoke, but it's obviously better to dress appropriately if people from top-notch companies are attending. I desperately tried to interpret it as her being considerate, so that Mother wouldn't be embarrassed at Georgie's big event, but I was taken aback by her next words. Of course, you will have to buy that dress. It's an Oscar de la Renta evening dress, so please prepare about $10,000 in total. Wait, I can't afford such an amount. If you can't pay, you will have to. Or do you plan to stand next to my parents in a cheap dress? I was flabbergasted and asked what Georgie thought. I haven't told Georgie yet. Of course, he thinks you and Mother will attend. But it will tarnish his future if his mother is unmarried and his sister is a dropout. No, I think nowadays, having a family of single mothers or dropouts doesn't affect a person's career. I didn't want to lose to Lily's prejudice, so I yelled, Anyway, it's my only brother's wedding, so both Mother and I will attend the wedding. We'll prepare the clothes, so we won't pay for it. If you really can't stand it, just don't invite us. Then I told Mother everything and asked for her advice. Mother looked downcast for a while, but eventually looked up and said cheerfully, Don't worry, Katie. I promise you I will make Georgie happy. Just leave it to me. She then started to make a phone call and eventually revealed something astounding. On the wedding day, a solemn ceremony was held in the chapel first. I had been worried about whether or not I should tell Georgie about what Lily had said, but since I had left everything to Mother, I decided to remain silent. However, Georgie's expression seemed stiff. Was it just nerves, or had Mother told him something? After the ceremony, I was taken aback when I looked at the seating chart at the reception venue. Mother's name was the only one written in the family section, and I couldn't find my seat anywhere. Wait, there's no seat for me. Even though I said I would be attending, they were really trying to exclude me from the reception. Just then, Lily's parents showed up, giving me a disdainful look. I can't believe you didn't understand when Lily told you not to come to the reception. We let you attend the wedding ceremony because we had no choice, but we can't stand having you spread your poverty around the reception. Go home, dropout sister. Ah, like mother, like daughter. Fine, I'll go home then. As I turned my back on Lily's parents, who were smirking, there was the CEO of Nikamimi Corporation, a listed company and business partner of Lily's father, standing with Georgie. Mr. Ashcroft, thank you so much for coming! Katie, you're in the way! Sorry about that, Mr. Ashcroft. We were just getting rid of an unwanted guest. Then Mr. Ashcroft spoke. "If you insist on kicking Katie out, I, as her father, will also abstain from the reception." Huh? Father? What do you mean? They both stared blankly, unable to believe what Mr. Ashcroft had said. Seeing this, Mr. Ashcroft repeated himself. "As I said, Katie is my daughter." As it turns out, Mr. Ashcroft and Mother were in a relationship in their 20s. Mr. Ashcroft was an executive and the future CEO at the time, while Mother had lost her parents in an accident and was alone. Their relationship wasn't blessed from the start. Furthermore, when Mother got pregnant with me, Nico Mimi Corporation, Mr. Ashcroft's father's company, was on the verge of bankruptcy. Everyone opposed their marriage, saying it would do nothing to help rebuild the company. So Mother proposed to put their marriage on hold until the company was back on its feet. She became a single mother, raising me with a love she had for Mr. Ashcroft, despite the societal stigma. But the company's situation had not improved significantly when Mother got pregnant with Georgie. When the daughter of the CEO of a certain company, who had offered help, proposed marriage to Mr. Ashcroft, Mother decided to step back, saying, "I'll raise our 2 kids properly. You don't have to acknowledge them. Just please be happy with that woman and revive your company." After marrying the CEO's daughter, Mr. Ashcroft not only revived his company, but also grew it to the point where it became a listed company. However, we were not blessed with children, and divorced a year ago due to my wife's infidelity. Afterward, I proposed to reunite with Mother. A few days before Georgie's wedding, I met with Ashcroft, the company president, and my father. "Oh, I've seen this person before." Yes, he was the uncle who had visited our apartment a few times during my childhood, trying to give my mother some money. He turned out to be President Ashcroft. When I involuntarily stared at him, he smiled at me and said, "You've really gone through a lot. I've heard from your mother about the wedding this time." He shared his thoughts with me. President Ashcroft, who had become Georgie's business partner, knew well about Georgie's capabilities. "I would like him to take over Migo Mimi Corporation, if possible. But if he fails to see the true nature of malicious people and disregards his mother and sister, I can't possibly entrust the company to him." So he was trying to investigate Georgie's character, using his wedding. The day before the wedding, President Ashcroft and Mother called Georgie and revealed the truth about their relationship, and that the Lilly family was trying to exclude Mother and me. Suddenly confronted with various revelations, Georgie, who had trusted Lilly and her parents, approached the wedding with mixed feelings. That's why he looked stiff during the ceremony. However, when he saw that my name was not on the reception seating chart, and observed Lily's parents trying to drive me out of the venue, he was convinced that what Mother and I had told him was true. Georgie brought Lily to the reception desk and declared, "Lily, Mr. and Mrs. Lilly, I will annul this marriage. I have no intention of becoming a family with people who belittle and disregard my precious mother and sister." Wait, just hold on. You can't just say something like that all of a sudden. Yes, that's right. It's a misunderstanding. Besides, we've already held the ceremony. The two were in a fluster, but Lily, who hadn't grasped the situation, dropped the bomb. "Huh? Georgie, are you choosing that low-life mother and daughter over me? You should know your place." Lily's parents, turning pale, tried to restrain her, but it was too late. When I explained the situation to Lily in detail, she collapsed on the spot and broke into tears. Furthermore, President Ashcroft said, "I guess we'll have to reconsider our business with your company," causing Lily's parents to burst into tears and apologize profusely. Everyone at the reception saw this, and the reception was ultimately canceled. Georgie cut ties with Lily completely, without submitting the marriage registration. Afterward, I received a phone call from Lily, screaming in rage. "You're the reason I couldn't marry Georgie. I'll be billing you for compensation and the cancellation fee for the venue." But when I responded, "Oh really? Then I'll sue you for defamation," everyone at the reception heard the abusive language from you and your parents. She fell silent. Furthermore, I mentioned how her father had been removed from handling transactions with Nikomimi Corporation, demoted, and sidelined. I should probably tell your father that I was threatened by Lily. Then, Nikomimi Corporation might completely stop dealing with ABC Trading. Won't your dad definitely lose his job? Ignoring Lily, who was crying her eyes out, I hung up the phone on my end. Serves her right. Georgie, who had canceled his marriage to Lily, later transferred to Mikomimi Corporation and seems to be working hard to become his father's right-hand man. Mother and father are getting married soon. Mother is shy about having a wedding after turning 60, but she looks genuinely happy when we pick out her wedding dress together. I've been devoted to my work up until now, but I've started to think that maybe one day I'd like to wear Mother's wedding dress.